Hello bankers, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome back. So guys, in this particular session, we are going to discuss our unit number second, which is sectors of Indian economy. Okay, so very important unit from module A itself. So you can expect on an average 2 marks question based on this particular unit, right? So when it comes to unit number 2, sectors of Indian economy, it include primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors. So these are the three core sectors of economy. Primary sector, which generally deal with agriculture and allied activities. Secondary sectors, which generally deal with manufacturing and industries. And third one is tertiary, which is linked with the service sector, right? And tertiary sector, which is further categorized between two areas. So two other part of the two different subcategories of your service sectors, which are quaternary sectors and quinary sectors. These are basically knowledge based and high decision making sectors, which are also comes under the tertiary sector. Then we have difference between these sectors. Revolution in India. So revolution in India, basically primary sector related like green revolution, white revolution and all, they generally comes under this. GDP contribution of different sectors, like maximum contribution is done by tertiary sector, followed by manufacturing, then agriculture. Dependency wide, we have different game. Maximum dependency on agriculture, primary sector, then secondary, then tertiary, right? We have agriculture, industry and service. Employment growth rate in secondary sector. Then we have sunrise sector, very important one, organized and unorganized sector. So if it comes to the examinations, so most of the time you guys will face question around this. One question for 1 marks with 2-3 statements based on these particular one, and another question is around sunrise sectors and organized and unorganized sectors. So these are the areas which you have to take care from this particular unit. So first we will be discussing the core concept of your unit 2, then we will be practicing a set of questions. So as I said, like when it comes to the sectors, so we have basically the whole economy or the GDP is basically divided among three major areas. One is primary sector. So primary sector, which generally deal with agriculture and allied activities like fisheries, forestry, animal husbandry, agriculture and all, they generally comes under this particular one. Secondary sector, which generally include manufacturing, industries, and tertiary sector, which includes services like banking, health, education, transportation, hotels, restaurants. So they generally comes under this one. Activities, then share in national GDP, we have lowest, but that employment and dependency is highest, right? And secondary sector medium आपका in term of contribution, in term of employability it is at lowest, ठीक है? And in term of contribution, tertiary sector contribute the maximum, it is at middle, and the final one is growth rate low, high, basically as per the recent trend. So with this particular one you get an idea around all these three sectors. Now we will be discussing all these three sectors in detail. So when it comes to the primary sectors, so it include agriculture, forestry, mining. These are the examples of this particular one. Known as agriculture and allied activities or associate services, provide raw material for the production of goods and services. Unorganized and most of the time employs old methods of the agriculture things or the animal husbandry or the other areas. In most developing economies such as India, this sector employ large portion of the workforce. So the employability, which we have discussed with our previous chart also, so we have maximum employability based on this particular one. Secondary sector, which is also known as manufacturing. Manufacturing unit, basically we take raw material from here, and in this particular one we generally process those particular one. Small scale units, major enterprise, global organizations are included in this. Industrial and manufacturing sectors is often known as manufacturing sectors. Transform one good into another by value additions. Organize and employ more efficient production methods Since the sector required a particular set of talent, employment rate is equilibrium in this particular case, okay, according to the demand and supply. The final one is tertiary sector, where we have maximum contribution in our Indian GDP. Almost 50% of India's GDP that is generally get contributed from this one. But employment wise or the dependency wise, we have maximum dependency on agriculture, right? So this sector include banking, insurance, communication, education and others, healthcare, known as service sector, offer valuable services to the primary and secondary services. It well organized and use advanced logistic techniques to carry out its task. The sector employment share has risen dramatically in recent years also, right? So this is all about your primary, secondary and tertiary. Now, I hope this is clear. Very basic facts are clear. And you have to go through these particular one with the help of multiple questions. We will be practicing the different dimensions, by what dimension these can be asked in your examination. Now this tertiary sector, that is further categorized, like we have two core areas. One is the your quaternary sectors, another one is quinary sectors. Okay. In previous session they asked question around this particular one, but this is highly expected कि in your next session you can expect question around these particular one. Okay. Sometimes they'll ask direct question, the differences between these two, or else sometime they'll give you one application based question and then you have to find out like which person belongs to quaternary and which person belongs to quinary. That we will practice in this session itself. Okay. So when it comes to the quaternary sector, it is also known as knowledge sector, as I earlier told you. So this category include such as teaching, research, development. The sector is far most important in assessing the strength of the economic human resources. The intellectual aspect of economy is represented by the quaternary sectors. Okay? So basically it is fully like where we have expertise based and all, expertise based peoples, they are, or employments, they are working in this particular areas. This group include employee in office building, elementary schools and university classrooms, hospitals, physicians, officers, and the others one. So basically, they have like everyone, those who are working under this one, they have some sort of expertise in their domains as well. Now, when it comes to the quinary sector, this is one of the finest one, like 1% of population or less than that. They generally work in this particular one. These are like basically CEOs, founders, and all, and their decision they generally make a huge impact on the organization as well as on the whole society. So these are basically they are generally part of the think tanks, and whenever their number is very less but their impact is huge, right? So basically they are the game changers. They are running the entire games aapka. So it include activities such as choice which key choices are made. It include highest level of decision makers in government, including the bureaucracy, in the private corporate sectors. The number of peoples participating in this sector is quite small, yet they have regarded the brain behind the economy. So they are generally known as brain behind the economy. Socio-economic performances. This group include occupations such as senior company executives, government official, bureaucrats, research scientists, financial and legal advisors, and others. They generally categorize under this particular one. I hope now it is clear. So primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary and quinary. So many times this get asked for 1 marks with the help of statements. You'll see like which of the following statement is most inaccurate or most accurate related to your quaternary and quinary sectors, or the differences between quaternary and quinary, or आपका primary, secondary and tertiary, right? So please do remember these particular things, and this is more than enough which you required for your JIB examination. Now the another part which is about the revolutions in primary sectors, or that is also known as agriculture. So now this is also a list where you will see one question for half marks, or sometime they go beyond that particular one. They'll give you 3-4 revolutions. They'll ask you to match those particular one, and they'll ask you to find out the right one or the wrong one, or even it can be for 2 marks with multiple statements. Okay, so what I'll recommend for all of you, you do not have to go for any sort of rectifications as of now. Just go through this particular list. With the help of practice only, you can try to revise these one, and during your examination period I'll provide you one documents that is a kind of a Brahmastra documents which will help you, or you have to keep that particular documents handy. So before entering in your examination hall, I'll provide you a 50-60 pages documents, so you can just scroll it and this will be part of that particular documents, right? So when it comes to the revolution, so we have Green Revolution, which is related to agriculture. Father was Mr. M.S. Swaminathan, 1966 to 78. No one can remember all these particular words, believe me. And you do not have to worry around this particular, just have to go through this one. And this is something which we have to revise during the examination period or with the help of multiple questions, right? White Revolution related to milk or dairy product, Burgess Kurian, 70 or 96. Yellow Revolution, mustard seed, oil seed, Mr. Sam Pitrado, 1986 and 1980, 90. Blue Revolution, fisheries or aquaculture, Dr. Arun Krishnan, 1973 to 2002. Golden Revolution, आपका fruit, honey, horticulture, Nirpik taste to taste, 1991 2003. Golden Fiber Revolution, jute related, 1991 2003. Silver Revolution, egg related, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, 1969-1978. Silver Fiber Revolution, cotton, 2000. Pink Revolution, pharmaceutical, prawns, onions. Then we have Durgesh Patel, 1970s. Brown Revolution, leather, coca, non-conventional energy, Hiralal Chaudhary. Then we have Red Revolution, meat and tomato, Vishal Tiwari, 1980s. A Grey Revolution, fertilizers, 1960 to 1970. Evergreen Revolution, overall agriculture, M.S. Swaminathan, 2014 to 2022. Black Revolution, petroleum. Then we have Round Revolution, potato. Protein Revolution, agriculture, coined by Mr. Narendra Modi in 2020 itself, right? So this is the list. And now why we stick to this particular list? Because it is part of your Macmillan books. Anything which is part of your Macmillan book, that is important for us. And 90% time, you'll get question based on that particular. And you do not have to buy that particular book. So I'll provide you, like my 100% content will be aligned with that particular book. So you do not have to go for any other things and all, right? So I'll be sharing, once we're done with the module A, I'll be compiling all these particular one and I'll be sharing this particular one with you. So you guys can easily revise and recall things. Okay. Now next point, guys. So the journey of Indian industry, when it comes to the Indian industry, so it is quite interesting, phases. Okay, now this is the phases. So you can expect 1 marks question around this particular one also. Okay, so it is basically the industrial or the secondary sectors, which is further the entire overall development of the secondary sector, which is further categorized among 4 major phases. Aapka. So these are phase 1, 1951 to 56, industrial foundation, where during the first 5-year plan or second 5-year plan, we start working around the industrial establishment like Bokaro steel plants, Durgapur steel plants, or these kind of things. Okay? Then we have phase 2, 1965 to 18, period of industrial fall. Okay? During this period, so there was the growth rate under this particular one was minimal. Phase 3 आपका the period of industrial recovery, and phase 4 आपका onwards the post reform period. And nowadays secondary areas or secondary sector where we are working toward, governments, they are coming with so many schemes related to MSMEs, so we can have the self dependency and self sufficiency, right? So Make in India, Startup India, and there are so many initiatives around MSMEs which are generally done by government in past few years, right? Now the next one, this is very, very important one. Very, very, very important, right? So sunrise sector. So when it comes to the sunrise sector, these are with every economy, they have certain areas which are most growing areas. They are new and most growing. and they generally attract, because of their growth, they attract huge investment and they face high competition. Take sectors like technology, like fintech and all, even education also, and we have there's different areas. It can be related to any area where we have a huge growth and we have high competition, and we have due to their growth they attract the high investment, and risk appetite is also very high in these particular cases. So when it comes to the sunrise sector, a new emerging industry with strong growth potential, like digitalizations of the economy or related things, robotics, AI, or the pharmaceuticals or the e-commerce. So these all are basically your or renewable energy. So these all are generally categorized under your sunrise sector. It is marked by high growth rate. This point is very important for all of us. High growth, innovation, public awareness, attracting long-term investors. Okay. Sunrise sectors, like it can be green energy, fintech, information technology, electronic, pharmaceuticals, automobiles, healthcare, infrastructure, retail sectors, processing plants and all. They are majorly categorized as sunrise sector for Indian economy. So these sectors are expected to drive job creation and business growth in the future also. Okay. So when it comes to the sunrise sectors, so there are few things which you have to remember. Sometimes they'll ask you what are the features of which of the following statement is correct about the features of sunrise sectors. Now these keywords will be in the form of statements, okay? Or else they can ask you which of the following let's say in those particular statement itself, let's say they have mentioned information technology and electronics is not categorized as the sunrise sectors, so that is an incorrect statement that you have to find out, right? Sunrise sectors, a quick summary. So sunrise sectors is a high growth, innovation driven and attract investors interest. Green energy, fintech and others, they are generally part of this. Retail infrastructure also. Sunrise sector often experience high competition and risk. Despite their early stage growth, these sectors contribute to job creation and business expansion in a long run, etc. So this is the kind of a summary which you have to at least remember from the sunrise sector, right? Now the final aspect of this particular unit is your organized and unorganized sectors. Okay? So unorganized sectors, like our banking is organized sector, where we do have some sort of regulations, rules and everything. Okay? Unorganized is any labor market, like let's say the construction things and all. So in some areas where we do not have a proper rules and regulation, they are generally categorized as the unorganized sector. So basically we do not have any proper rules and regulations related to employability and all. But in case of organized sectors, we do have everything: minimum wage, आपका notice period, or minimum salary, or the benefits, or the other aspect also, right? So they generally comes under this particular one. So when it comes to the organized sector cover those enterprise where the term of employments is regular, basically full-time. They generally provide full-time employments. They are registered by governments or companies that follow rules and regulations and various laws, like Factories Act, Minimum Wage Act, Payment of Gratuity, Shop and Establishment Act and all. Worker in organized sectors are paid according to a prescribed scale, like we have scale 1, scale 2, scale 3, that they also get pay in time on regular basis. They get annual increments and other allowances such as provident funds, payment during holidays, paid leave, gratuity, the others one. They can form a trade union also, right? So here it is. If it comes to the unorganized sector characterized by small and scattered unit, which are largely outside the control of governments. Unorganized sectors does not follow any rules and regulation passed by the governments. Most of the job are low paid and often not regular. There is no provision for overtime, paid leave, holidays, leave due to sickness and all, and they cannot form trade unions as well. Okay, so this is the major classification of your organized and unorganized sector. All right, guys. So I hope this is clear. One question, like I have experience in every 2 years, in every 2 sessions, they ask one question. Okay, let's say they have asked one question in June, then they'll ask in next June. They generally follow this kind of trend, and at least 2 questions from this particular unit, right? So now we will summarize this particular one. So summary, if it comes to the summary, so summary point is very, very important, right? So primary sectors involve आपका natural resources like agriculture. These are the areas. Secondary आपका manufacturing, raw materials from the primary sectors contribute significantly to GDP and employments. Tertiary sectors cover services like education, healthcare, banking, communication. Quaternary sectors known for knowledge sector include research, teaching, development. Agriculture contributions decline over time in national income. Industry and service gaining larger scale. So earlier, like even today also, we have dependency on agriculture, but earlier the contribution of agriculture sector was at higher side. Industry GVA shares, so 17% to your 29% in 2021-22. GVA, gross value added, means this statement means contribution of secondary sector in GDP. So in 1950 it was around 17%, and now it got increased to 29%, and it become second largest sectors to contribute to Indian GDP. Service sectors here increased from 33% to 53%. Okay, so maximum dependency we have, maximum contribution in our GDP we have from the service sector or the tertiary sector. Apart from this, construction sector, second largest employment provider after agriculture, employing 31 million people, 8% of total employment. So it is something, construction means आपका या secondary sector. So which has second largest employment contributor after the your primary sectors. Sunrise sectors include green energy, fintech, IT, pharmaceuticals, automobiles and all. Organized sectors, job with fixed term and regular pay, include registered business, school, hospitals, banking, insurance. Unorganized sector include informal job with irregular terms such as construction workers, domestic workers, house maid and all. Small workshop employees not registered with the government itself, right? So this is all about this much of content or concept you require from this particular unit. I'll do whatever it is required for the examination. I'll not waste your a single minute because we already have lack of time, right? So now first, this was the concept part. Now with the help of questions, we will try to build our understanding, and we'll have a look around the Macmillan question as well as a set of questions based on this particular topic which get asked in past or some sort of expected question, right? So when it comes to your Macmillan questions, you have to find out the correct statement and do not rely on these particular questions. You are not going to face this type of question in your examination, right? So which of the following is not a component of primary sector? So construction is not part of your primary sector. Remaining agriculture, fishing and forestry are part of primary sector. Quaternary sectors is a part of service sector. Quaternary and quinary both are part of service sector. Black Revolution was part of was something related to your petroleums. Which sector contribute most to national GDP? Service sector. Which sector provide maximum employment in India? So agriculture. Okay, these are the very basic question. I hope everybody knows around these one. If no, after watching this 15 to 20 minute of concept, you will be able to answer all these 5 questions that I can bet, right? So because we have discussed all these particular things within this particular session as well. Now, some my question for all of you. Basically, these questions are based on the memory base as well as some expected questions. Memory base means in the past when they asked in the examination. So I have tried to frame those particular questions around those, but basically the PYQ base and all. Which of the following statement about economic sectors are correct? So you have to find out the correct statement. Primary sector provide raw material for production of goods and services. True. Secondary sector, also known as service sector. No. It is also known as manufacturing sector or construction sector. Tertiary sector is also has seen a significant rise in employment shares in recent years. So now what we have to find out? We have to find out the correct statements. That means 1 and 3 will be right answer for this particular. Only statement wrong was आपका statement 2. Okay? So tertiary, secondary sector, which is generally known as construction or industries and all. Now this type of question, quaternary and quinary. This was actually part of my examination script in October 2023. So Dr. Meena Sharma is a senior research scientist working at leading biotechnological firm. Her daily responsibilities include conducting research, development in medical solutions, publishing scientific papers. She collaborates with universities and research institute to advocate knowledge in genetic medicine. It is about Dr. Meena Sharma. Meanwhile, her husband, Mr. Rohan Sharma, is a CEO of a multinational corporation. He is responsible for making high strategic decisions, overseeing companies' policies, and ensuring financial growth of the organization. He frequently interact with government official and financial advisor to navigate regulatory and economic challenges. Now, based on this scenario, which of the following statements are correct? Okay? So now you'll definitely see around 10 to 12 question, similar set of questions, and it is for word marks. Now that means Dr. Meera Sharma, she worked with the quaternary sector, and her husband, Mr. Rohan Sharma, work in a quinary sector. Okay? So quaternary, quinary. So Meena Sharma work in a quinary, no. Dr. Meera Sharma work in a quaternary sector, and Rohan Sharma work as a quinary sector. So option B must be right answer for this particular question. Getting my point, guys? Yes. If you are having any doubt, please do connect me on Telegram, or I have shared my number also. Just you can ping me on WhatsApp. You can send me screenshot on WhatsApp, or else you can. There is a one option. If you send any message on that chat, so that will come to me and I'll get back to you, right? So any problem you guys are facing, if you want to talk, just give me one message. I'll arrange a call and we will discuss about that one. This question we discuss in our introduction class of module A also. Okay? So which of the following statement about various revolutions in India are correct? So what? Green revolution, agriculture, and led by MS Swaminathan. White Revolution, it is also known as Operation Flood. Milk आपका Vergis Kurian, it is related to milk production. ठीक है. Yellow Revolution, then it is oil seed and what developed by Sam Pitrado, right? The Blue Revolution, fish and aquaculture, led by Arun Krishnan, correct? The Silver Revolution, basically आपका egg production, Indira Gandhi, true. Golden Revolution, horticulture. No, wheat and rice, this is wrong. It is related to horticulture by Nirpak Tutesh. This is right. The Evergreen Revolution, MS Swaminathan, overall agriculture production. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. That means option D will be right answer for this one. Only statement incorrect was this. Okay? And if they'll I can assure you, they'll not give you these many statements. They'll give you 2 or 3 or 3 or 4. Okay? And maximum, and they'll go for 1 marks only, right? So, but you have to prepare this way. So you can, and I'll not suggest, again, I'm telling this particular thing, I'll not suggest any kind of rectification on these particular one. This we will do with unit wise practices. I'll add more question. One another set of question in your unit wise practice, one is already there. So if you practice those particular one in your free time, it's a 20-minute quiz, anytime you can practice that particular one. So that is definitely going to help you out. Which decade India's agriculture sector contribution to GDP dropped below 30%? So what was the years? 1990s आपका. So that was the very first time when it comes to आपका 29%. 1991 was the period when it comes to 29%. So this is the overall contribution. Again, you do not have to study or read these particular charts. Like some people like I'll never guide you. Like it is, they are never going to ask any question around this one. They'll ask a journal aspect aapka, right? So which sector have maximum contribution, or they'll give you 3-4 statements about the contribution or the other areas, right? And they are not going to ask what the percentage in all thing. That is outdated. Which of the following statement about agriculture in India are correct? Agriculture accounts 17.8% of GVA for the year 1920. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana was launched in 2016. Okay. So this is wrong. Mitigate, it is आपका agriculture insurance. The cropping intensity of India as land use statistic 2016-17 is 100.60%. It should be right? So 1 in 3 means आपका B should be, okay, okay, this is also correct. What we have to find out? Incorrect statement. Sorry, so it is आपका incorrect statement. It was around the incorrect statement. So these two are incorrect. Why this is? It is 143.60% per land use statistic 2016-17. Again, I can bet on this question. They are never going to ask this one. Reason, this is given in your book. That's why we have keep these particular question also. But what I experienced in last, they introduced this IEIFS in May 2020 third for the very first time, and even during that period also they did not ask any question of 2016 data, 20 data and all. There was one question around the COVID things and all, and as of now they are not asking. But still, if you want to go through, I have kept these particular notes, so you can go for these particular. Otherwise, my recommendation is you should ignore these particular areas. Which of the following statement about India's industrial sector are correct? India's industrial sector are correct. So manufacturing sector account 18% of the gross GVA. The construction sector contributes approx 12%. Index of industrial production measure change in volume of production given either year. Industrial sector in India divided into 4 subsectors. The index of core industries ICI is calculated by the National Statistic Organization. So 1, 2, 1, 2, no, 1, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 2 is 7, not 17%. It is 12%. Okay, so this is the only wrong one. It is आपका, sorry. It is not 12% आपका. It is 8%. Okay, it is 8%. It is 8%. Rest statements are correct. Okay, so आपका D will be right answer for this particular one. Now this is the data आपका. Okay. This is around the phases actually, not the related to this one. So this we have discussed earlier also. Next one, which subsector of the service industry contributed the highest percentage to India's GVA in 2019-20? So it is आपका highest. So trade, hotels, transport, communication and broadcasting, financial, real estate, professional services, public administration, defense. B must be our right answer. Again, this is the old data which is part of your book itself. But like again, I'm telling you guys, if you go through that book, that is something that generally confuse, that generally mislead some way. This data is from 2019-20. Never they are going to ask this one. Though they can ask some question around the budgetary things and all, we will cover those particular one. Rest for your basic, like sometimes people they get confused कि we have to read those one and all. I'll always recommend कि just ignore these particular things. They are never ever going to ask any question around these areas. Which sector is the second largest employment provider in India after agriculture? So what will be your correct answer? Construction will be right answer for this particular one. Alright guys. So yes. Okay, remaining questions I'll be doing how many questions are remaining? Okay, there are 2-3 questions are remaining around this like the sunrise sector. This question we have discussed around the like when I came with the introduction part and all. So please go through these particular one. Okay, I do have one session just after this, so I'll be wrapping this particular one, and we'll be having some live sessions, module wise revision and all, and during those particular one I'll come up with some new set of questions, so they'll help you out in your upcoming examination. So this is all about your module A unit 2, very basic one. a 2 marks question, it can be 1 marks 2 question, or a single question for 2 marks that we have decoded in this particular one. And with practice, modularized revision, I'll be coming with a new set of questions, so that will help you to make your understanding. So this is it from my side, guys. Thank you for joining this session. Thank you for watching this session. Bye bye, take care all, and all the very best for your preparation. Thank you.